Hello, and welcome to Indie Encounter. My name is Mark Wilson Jordan. The mission of our show is to give independent performers and artists access to as wide an audience as possible and to give you, our viewers, a window into their art, their artistic process, what makes them tick as human beings, and why they have chosen their particular avenue to connect with the world. Art is all about communication and connection. Let's meet today's indie artist, poetess Sandra Laraine Coleman. Sandra, welcome to Indie Encounter.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Cool. So let's jump right in. What got you interested in poetry?
My 8th grade English teacher, Miss Diggs, she introduced me to poets like Langston Hughes, Paul Laurence Dunbar, Countee Cullen, and I fell in love with the movement of words and how they could get emotion and just get people thinking, feeling, understanding themselves.
Right, okay. So you were impressed with the language and its ability to communicate.
Yes, and the way they use the language. They use it like, not like we talk like regular human beings, but the way they got us to see things from their perspective. And it opened up a whole new world for me. I fell in love with words.
Great. So after reading these poets and being exposed to them in 8th grade and probably getting to memorize some of those poems, you decided to start writing?
Well, I think it kind of chose me. I did. I fell in love and I wanted to do it. I wanted to see if I could come up with creative ways to say what needed to be said and still have people understand it, even though I was using my own voice.
Right, great. So how do you go about doing that then?
It just happens. I don't set out to write a poem about a particular subject, but I have to see the poetry in everything I do. My job, going to the grocery store, walking down the street, the ocean, the sky. I have to see the poetry in everything. So in everything around me, I always try to see the poem in it or the beauty in it, the good and the bad. If there's a situation that I'm in that's not so good and I want to write about it, I will write about it, but I won't leave myself there. I'll see myself at the end and write an outcome, a positive outcome, and write my way out of it.
So do you keep a journal?
Yes, I have several journals. And I always have a pencil and paper at my fingertips. If I don't have a journal with me or I can't reach it fast enough, I'll get a napkin, I'll get a receipt, I'll get whatever and just
So
write
you're one of
on
those
it.
people who has Post-its all over everything?
Well, I don't have Post-its all over, but I have little pieces of paper. And then what I do is I take my pieces of paper at the end of the day and try to transfer them into my book or on the computer, or even type on the computer. Like sometimes I'm in the middle of something, a project or something, and I'm typing on the computer or on the internet and I have to jump over to a Word document and just type what I'm thinking really quick, go back to what I'm doing. And sometimes the poems come, they'll come like a flood, and then other times they'll come in pieces, and they might not come at the same time. They might come, I might get a line this week, and then I might get a few lines next week or, next month, and then I'll just, read over them, and I'll go, hey, this can go with this, or this can go with that, or this would be good here, this would be good there. It's a process, and with me, the way my brain runs, it's never, hardly ever the same way twice. But I just try to let the creativity flow. It's easier when you don't have like a job, a child, 10 million things to do. When you can find that quiet time and that quiet space and just sit and literally listen to life around you.
Wow. But I know you do have a child and you do have a job and you have at least 9 million things going on. So you have to set aside time for your poetry.
Yeah, you have to set aside time, and even if you don't Well, I try to set aside a set time every day where I can just sit and write in my journal. But things happen, life happens, and so that's why I carry so many. I have a book in my purse with a pen already in it. I have something in the car. I have something by the bed. I have something in the kitchen. I try to always have something somewhere handy so I can write whatever I'm thinking down or whatever I'm feeling down.
Great.
Yeah.
So, how do you know when a poem is finished?
When you have nothing else left to say on that particular subject.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, you might have something else to say, but it might be another poem. You know, the poem speaks to you. You write it, but it speaks to you. It lets you know when it's finished.
Okay.
I'm done here,
Okay.
you know, and like the last line, if after the last line you can't think of anything else to say or you have nothing else to say, like that's it.
It's done.
It's done.
Okay.
It's done. Yeah.
And then it's time to recite it in the shower, in front of the television, or do you go out into the world with your poetry?
Sometimes, well, it depends on some poems are more difficult than others to recite. I have some poems that I wrote about an abusive relationship that I was in. Now, those are very difficult pieces to perform, but if the spirit moves me to perform them, I will, because maybe it's not about me and my feelings. Maybe there's somebody that needs to hear what I'm saying or needs to hear what I experienced to give them hope. But still, they're very difficult, and I'll perform them anyway because I'm led to or guided to. I don't go into, a lot of times I don't go to a venue to recite knowing what I'm going to do. I wait till I get there and I kind of feel the vibe, and then I say, okay, this will be good at this time or that will be good at that time. I kind of let the spirit guide me to what pieces I'm going to do. But there's one piece that I wrote about my grandmother that I don't care where I am or what I'm doing, I like to do that one first because she never really got a chance to see me perform my poetry, and this is my way of paying tribute to her and her memory by always doing that piece. And, you know, when she's looking down on me, I want her to be able to hear me do that piece.
Great. Well, that sounds like a perfect transition to your performing a poem for us.
Sure.
All right, thank you. And you'll announce the poem and we'll go.
Memories in Pink. Lately I've been wondering, do angels wear pink? Got me glimpsing in Vera vision. I see a caramel-colored mother on a mission, standing at stove, stirring stews, stuffing, loving in her oven. Fried chicken magician Colonel knows nothing about finger licking. A little bit country 'cause raising cows and pigs keeps freezer full of fresh meat. She's slipping me taller-sized soul food samples while I ride my trike all up and through the house. Today, I'm pondering, do angels wear pink? Got me rewinding, reviving. She's prescribing down-home remedy for my ashy rash with words that boggled my brain. Put some Vaseline on it, clear right up. Didn't know I owned a jar of instant healing. Now she's kneeling in her garden wearing big straw shield from Days Rays. Got 2 acres of land, plenty room for me to run. Dance like wind, touch sky, kiss sun. Grandmother grows greens, snaps beans, turns, twists, bends, ends till they look like they meet. Question still burns, can angels wear pink? Got me listening to rhythms of Vera wisdom. Missing you, grandmother, replaying holidays, reminiscing to Marvin Gaye, remembering all ways you loved. Feeling you nibbling my 5-year-old cheeks. You said, granddaughter sugar so sweet, had to take a bite. I'm missing those stick to your rib stories you tell with few words. You gave tons of advice. A lot of history wrapped around 86 years of living. Got me walking through memory, searching buried treasure you left on my soul. Putting pieces of you in everything I do, and I promise to pass on your precious pearls. I do miss you, grandmother, but I won't be surprised if I see an angel fly by. No, I won't be surprised if I see an angel fly by. For today, at least one I know in heaven wears pink. My color is earth-toned African rainbow. Outer, bright, light, high yellow. Don't be fooled by fair skin. A myriad of bronzes flows within. I be swaying a Sankofa sarong, singing Swahili soliloquies, swinging wisdom, be riding matriarchal rhythms rooted in righteous love, raised on tinted beams of life, literally limitless in liquid logic, long like the Nile, ever embracing existential epitome of self, be birthing babies on breastplate of change, brave, bold, brown, Bantu champions blossoming on beauty's bare-backed winds, be wonderful warrior woman walking, wearing knowledge washed in fiery clay colors and fluent phenomenal faith flavored with sweet freedom, be softly shining on Middle Eastern gold, swimming the depths of daytime dreams draped in sacred shades of silky sienna, scattering spiritual seeds on the Serengeti, forever seeking, reaping what I sow. My color is earth-toned African rainbow, outer illumination fused to inner glow. Don't let this freckle face fool ya. Better listen up and let a sister school ya. My multicoloredness goes back more generations than one can count. I am Mosio Atunya, smoke that thunders. Come experience the wonder that is me. I am flowing a double S curve like the Zambezi, dancing monsoons on desert dunes, traveling back through time on thoughts that congregate like clans on the Congo, celebrating salvation on Saharan sands. I am the whispering African lilies calling ancestors. The delightful, delicate daughter of the Dogon, a diamond, and Mount Kilimanjaro is quiet keeper of red-hot heat in hues from copper to cocoa. I am music of master drummers measuring my steps in the ethereal essence of Egyptian kings and queens. I am 11,699,000 square miles of continent, coated in colors from creamy caramel to coffee, from cayenne to coal. God has blessed my soul. Oh yes, sun-kissed saffron is what you see, but an earth-toned African rainbow flows through me.
All right.
Thank you. I'm dreaming of a place, a supernatural place on the west side of heaven. I'm dreaming of Ghettopia, where living is dark and lovely and bling bling is sound of freedom ringing. A place where smiles grace every face, mocha mellow beautiful be flavor of day. Ain't no houses, only homes. Education, chicken soup for soul. No life lessons left unlearned. To earth-toned roots we humbly return. No black man's lawn has ever seen crosses burned. I'm going to Ghettopia, where script flips in favor of one Nubian nation under naturally funky grooves, because revolution wasn't televised but revised in rhythm and rhyme. Ain't no brothers doing time. Crime is non-existent. Happiness lives just around bend. Drive by, not life's end, but quick visit to relative or friend. I'm living in Ghettopia, where wrapped heads rock royal dreads and cowrie shells sing like wedding bells. Ain't nobody slinging drugs, too busy getting high off hugs, greetings, and Sunday go to meetings of masterminds. Spoken word and freestyling replace racial profiling. Be rolling easy on streets like sunshine and cool breeze. Money grows on trees that once bore strange fruit. Nappy rooted, black history mysteries unravel while we travel back and forth through thought. You ought to come to Ghettopia, where we paint poetic portraits in pools of pure love. Ancestors echo wisdom over radio waves, village elders highly respected. Childhood innocence always protected. Yes, in God we trust, Ghettopia or bust. Take faith's shuttle to Cloud 9, flow right to Cyber Street, elevate through gates, golden and great. Lay over in Lamert Park Lounge, look for Funky Bassman in Fuzzy Kango. Entrance is free, but only if you look like we. Going to Ghettopia. Going to Ghettopia. Going to Ghettopia. The Underground Railroad stops here.
Thank you. Thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you.
So those are some of your poems that you would perform.
Yes.
And you have a regular venue where you're presenting your work, do you not?
Yes, we host a venue, and I say we because there's 3 female hostesses and 1 musical director, and we host our venue at Magic Johnson Starbucks in Ladera. And we've been there for 10 years. This month is our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and it's been a great run. We started inside, but it got so crowded and there were so many people coming to hear spoken word that they had to move us outside. And so we've been outside ever since. It makes it a little difficult in the winter months because it's not a covered patio and it gets cold out there, but it's our venue, and whether it's cold or, you know, the only time we don't go, and most of the audience knows that we're not going to be there, is if it rains because the equipment is so sensitive. But it's good being outside because he can set up the speakers. Our musical director, Ron Deasy, sets up the speakers, and you can hear us for blocks. And a lot of times that's how people start coming, because they hear what's going on in the shopping center, and they're like, what's going on over there? And they're riding by, and they'll come and stop. And we have our regulars that come every week, and, you know, if we're not there, they miss us. And they're always there when we get back. So it's been a really good run. I don't know if I want to do it 10 more years, but it's been a wonderful experience. I've seen a lot of artists grow and become stronger in their presentation by coming to Starbucks and just...
And if people want to find out more about them, they can Google Lamert Park Poets.
Lamert Park Poets, or Spreading Love in Spoken Words. That's what the venue is called.
All right. All right. So
Yes.
people will be looking forward to that. You're probably working on something new?
Yes, I'm actually working on my 4th book. I've been trying to get everything organized and structured so I can go ahead and print it. I just did the cover. Of course, it's pictures of me. But yeah, I've been working with some, I've done a couple of photo shoots, and I found some photos that I really like. So I wanted the cover to be me and capture who I am and how I see myself. So I chose those pictures, and they're going to be on the cover. I wish I had some. It's been a crazy week because we're trying to move, but I'm gonna say that if you contact Spread Love and Spoken Word at MySpace, you can contact me through there.
All right,
Yeah.
great. So you have maybe one more poem you'd like to present for us?
I do.
Great.
I do. I saw music in his eyes, melodies that mirror movement of my hips, got lips longing, learning lyrics of lifetimes past, baptizing me beautiful with big, round, brown pools of promises kept, wiping away pain with millenniums of miracle working locked in his hands. Got freedom flowing from fingertips and spends days putting sweet all up in my sway. I'm skinny dipping in his smile, swimming in African sunsets glowing gold in his grin, listening to laughter of unborn warriors waiting in wisdom's waterfalls dancing round my womb. I be lost in chocolate-covered kisses, creating colorful Congo rhythms that can't keep quiet. He is harmony in human form. In his hugs, heaven. His heart, home. And powerful arms wrapping me all up in warm. I'm purifying, bathing in Nile River running through his hello, wading in welcoming waters he uses for words, walking barefoot through thoughts, trying to climb his mind, introduce myself to his dreams, burying my soul deep in songs of serenity, speaking from beyond being, making melanin memories when we meet by moonlight, round midnight. He be breath all up in my breathing. I'm resting easy in porch swing peace and positive vibes, penning rose petal prose, looking forward to precious moments that find us, postponing living just long enough to pursue loving and the infinite possibility of we.
Oof. Yes. Oh. Do we have time for one more?
What would I say if I thought you were listening? Hear me, precious one. I see pain beyond paint you wear. Hear uncertainty in every step as 6-inch stilettos scrape sidewalk. Sadness in your shallow smile. I recognize masks have worn it myself. No proms, pigtails, backpacks, or college courses in your future. Educated on streets between sheets of sin and shame. Tricked into believing your body is your only asset, you wear despair. No refuge from occupational hazards or sympathetic bosom waiting for you when cries and screams of loneliness pierce silent, sleepless nights. Your tireless labor and toil for pieces of cheddar don't make life no better. Hear me, beloved, God is always listening, ready to comfort if you ask. Even my quiet prayers, more than wishes for your well-being, safe return home and rest for your weary bones. You have placed more value on accumulating things than your own self-esteem. What you have pales in comparison does not define who you really are. I know the truth your heart seeks, misguided little girl. The beauty of your spirit shrouded in regret. The royalty flowing through your veins you managed to forget. What would I say if I thought you were listening? You have value, your life purpose. Hear me, O precious one, even if I use no words at all.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Outstanding. And so those last two poems are in your current project that you're working on?
Yes, they are.
And the CD is called SLC Unwrapped?
Yes. The book is Silk Wrapped, and the CD is SLC Silk Unwrapped. And it'll probably be out in another month or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Have
Well,
to put the finishing
we'll
touches.
we'll encourage people to mark their calendars
Yes.
and to look for you at the Lamert Park Poets, or to Google you.
Yes, they can Google me. They can Google Spreading Love in Spoken Words, and they can Google Lamert Park Poets.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's spreading
Love,
love in
letter
in
N,
spoken
word. Yes.
Great, great. Well, thank you very much for coming today. I really enjoyed talking with you, and I loved hearing your poetry.
Oh, thank you very much. It was a blessing to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, this has been Indie Encounter, a journey into the world of independent creators of art and artistic communication. I want to thank today's guest, Sandra Laraine Coleman, for sharing her poetic vision with us. If you want to find out more about today's guest, check her out on Facebook, on the web by typing her name, Sandra Laraine Coleman, or Lamert Park Poets into your Google browser. Check out our website here at PasadenaCommunityNetwork.com and select the Arroyo channel. You may also check my website, markwilsonjordan.com, for additional contact information. Thanks to our director, Lilia F. Gaspar, and crew for making the show possible. Thanks to all of you. We hope to see you here again when we embark on another Indie Encounter.